Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with SureCall. Today's host is Jason Hayes. He is their National Account Manager, and he'll be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Jason will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Jason, I am finished for now. Thank you so much for being with us today. You can go ahead and take it on over.
Thanks, Julie. Always a pleasure to be here with the Microcom team and talk about our products, our signal boosters. Specifically today, we're talking about indoor signal booster solutions, specifically for home and office. Kind of on the smaller, more consumer side of things. Obviously, we've talked about in the past, SureCall also addresses mobile connectivity issues. We've got a lot of mobile solutions for travelers and people that are on the road warriors and what have you. And then, of course, we also have a huge chunk of our products are for really large in-building solutions, stadiums, warehouses, hospitals, hotels, you name it. But today I wanted to specifically target kind of what Microcom has seen a lot of success with because they're priced right, and they've got kind of the right clientele and outreach on their website for smaller in-building solutions, home and office solutions. And so let me just jump right into it today. And like Julie said, if you have questions, I will be taking questions at the end and answer them to the best of my ability. Really quick, I wanted to just give everybody another quick overview about SureCall. SureCall was founded in 2001. And the owner of SureCall, owner and CEO, is a first-generation Chinese American who came to America like many people did, with a dream in his heart and very little money in his pocket, and now has a great success story to tell. So we're very proud of our roots. We did get our start in the enterprise commercial arena, right around that 250,000 square foot range was kind of our sweet spot. And from there we branched out and have gotten into all sorts of other cellular boosting solutions. We're the performance leader in commercial and residential boosters. We've got 7 U.S. patents and a lot more pending patents. We've won many awards for our signal boosting technology, which I'll get into more details here in a minute. Real quick, I want to talk about the SureCall difference. Like I said, we're the industry-leading performer with patented technology. We were actually the first to offer a 5-band solution. So we're talking about 2G, 3G, 4G, LTE, all the different cellular bands, all being addressed with one booster. We were the first to market with that. We were also the first to market with a 5G signal booster. And so that's something that will be expanded upon as 5G rolls out more and more, but we were the first to market with a 5G cellular booster, mainly for larger buildings. We've got a great team. We've got a great sales team and support team that are at your disposal anytime. And then, of course, a really compelling product value proposition addressing all North American carriers and signals. So we also offer certified training, free IB wave system design, which doesn't really apply to the consumer grade stuff. But all of our boosters, whether it's industrial, commercial, or consumer grade, we have a 3-year warranty on all of that stuff and a 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee. With a product like this, we find that there's, some hesitancy sometimes. These products work really well, but there are certain occasions where they will not work, and specifically that would be, in an area where you just don't have any cell signal whatsoever. It's rare, but if there's nothing for our booster to grab onto and to boost, it can't really do anything. You have to have a little bit of water to play around with before you can splash and make waves, so to speak. So It's rare, but that happens. And so because of that, we offer a 60-day money-back guarantee. If the booster won't perform in your area, you can send it back and not have to worry, and it kind of takes the fear and the guesswork out of that. So that's why we do that. Again, why SureCall? 5-band cellular booster, first 5G signal booster. We do have remote monitoring capability on some of our bigger boosters, which makes it really, really nice for the installer or the guy that needs to maintain the system. All of our stuff is FCC and carrier approved. The auto-adjusting gain control is something that's been around for a long, long time that allows the booster to kind of power down or even shut down completely. If it's causing any noise or interference on the carrier's network, it will prevent that by powering itself down and monitoring itself. And then the SureIQ technology, that is a SureCall exclusive. That's our own patented technology, and it's similar to the automatic gain control, but it's another level above that. It's much more refined, much more detail oriented, and basically allows our booster to run optimally without even powering down, without creating noise or interference on the network, even if you are right next to a cell tower. And so where this SureIQ would come into play is, and we'll talk about this more in a minute as well, but there are those instances where you're really close to a cell tower and you have an amazing signal outside, but because of a metal roof or a lot of concrete, you cannot get that signal inside the building. So by setting up a SureCall booster inside the building, you can actually get the benefit of that full boosted signal without overpowering the cell site and causing shutdown. So that's something that SureCall has come out with to just address every need and every problem that you might face. Really quickly, what causes poor cellular signal? There are really three main culprits when it comes to poor cell signal. One is building materials, which I just touched on, metal roof, tile, a lot of concrete or metal sometimes can block cell signal, or even metallic window tint, energy efficient windows and things that are designed to save on energy costs can in fact hinder cell signal. That's becoming more common. Another one is terrain, a lot of trees or high mountains or cliffs in the way, or maybe you're down in a little dip or a valley or what have you that can block cell signal. And then of course distance from cell tower. If you're really remote and you're really rugged, our main office is in California, but I work with about 6 or 7 team members here in St. George, Utah, southern Utah, and we're about, an hour and a half outside of the Grand Canyon, some pretty rugged, remote areas. And so when you talk about distance from cell tower, we test our boosters in some pretty remote, distant areas to just see how they're going to perform. So that's a big one as well. All right, well, let's just jump into our in-building solutions and our consumer lineup. Here's a quick overview of what we're going to be going over today. 3 products, starting with the Easy 4G and going up to the Flare 3.0, and then to our best value, which is the Fusion for Home. That's kind of our whole home kit. Keep in mind, as I talk about these solutions, they're very similar in what they do, and they have a couple of different variations that we'll talk about, both in amount of square footage of boosted coverage area, as well as price and ease of installation. So we'll kind of get into all of that. All of these, though, include everything that is required by the FCC to make this a complete functional kit. You don't have to buy anything else or look for anything else to make the system work. It's good to go as is in the package. And for the most part, fairly easy to install and set up. Again, that 3-year warranty and lifetime pre- and post-sales and tech support. These are all FCC approved and carrier approved ahead of time. If you have a customer that's in Canada, these are IC, Industry Canada approved as well. So first off, let's talk about the Easy 4G. And I don't know why that slide is jumping on me. But it's The Easy 4G starts at $399. It's a $399 MSRP, and again, it's a complete kit, includes everything you need. It's going to boost signal for all carriers, all phones in North America. Supports up to 5 simultaneous users and all 5 bands, the 3G, the 4G, the LTE, voice and data. You'll have way less dropped calls, you'll stay connected, your calls will be crisp and sharp, and your data speeds will be top-notch as well. So this covers up to about 1,500 square feet. We recommend this for 1 or 2 rooms inside a home or office. And this one is our simplest, most straightforward installation. You can see, let me just jump to my install diagram, the setup here. That signal catcher antenna looks like a dish or a satellite dish almost, and it mounts in the window. So if you have an area where you can go to a window inside an apartment or something like that, a basement, and you can get some signal, that's a great place to install this signal catcher antenna. It plugs in, and then the cable connects to the desktop antenna, which needs to be about 30 feet away, and we recommend that you just set it on a desk or a countertop, somewhere kind of central to the area that you want to boost, and then just plug it in and you're good to go. So literally plug and play setup. You don't have to run cables outside or anything like that. You can literally set the antenna in the window, have the desktop antenna 30 feet away, and plug it in, and you're going to get a full signal boost. It works like a charm. The next product that we want to talk about is the Flare 3.0, and I'm sorry, I don't know why the slide keeps jumping. I will correct that on the next go around. Let me just back up. Flare 3.0 starting at $379, and this one as well covers all carriers, voice and 4G LTE data. This supports up to 8 simultaneous users. And the signal boosting range is a little bit bigger. This one boosts, and I guess I didn't put it on the slide, my apologies. This one boosts up to about 2,500 square feet. Similar in concept, except this one has an outside antenna. The higher the better, and that's why it will boost a little bit larger area than like the Easy 4G. You get that antenna out on the roof, you're getting the best signal and bringing it in, and then boosting it in a similar manner. So coverage up to 2,500 square feet, there it is, 8 simultaneous users, and inside and outside antenna. So this is my install diagram for that, and you can see it's very similar to the Easy 4G, the main difference being that outside antenna is outside. It's on the roof and it's up high getting the best signal, and then boosting signal inside for all the devices. Again, keep in mind, we say, we talk a lot about how many simultaneous users this will support, but keep in mind that nothing actually has to pair or connect to the phone with these boosters set up. Your phone is just going to think it's closer to the cell tower. It's getting a stronger signal. It's functioning optimally, and without anything having to pair or connect or plug into your phone at all, it's going to receive that stronger signal. So this isn't like a femtocell or something like that where it actually has to log in or do anything. It's just getting a stronger signal. Lastly, I want to talk about the Fusion for Home, and wow, that slide keeps jumping again. Sorry about that. The Fusion for Home, there are many different kit variations. So MSRP on this is anywhere from $399 to $499. This one is considered our whole home boosting kit, up to 4,000 square feet, 8 simultaneous users, which is rare, even if you have a big family like I do. It's rare for 8 people to be on the phone and actively using that boosted signal at the same time. It happens, but most people, when they get home, their phone automatically switches to Wi-Fi, and you're usually good to go. But you've got up to 8 simultaneous users on that booster if needed. So the Fusion for Home has many different kit variations. There are about 4 of them, and you can see I've got them pictured in the lower right corner of the slide here. One with an omnidirectional outside antenna, one with a directional Yagi outside antenna, and then there are even ones that have the little whip antenna so that you don't have to mount an inside antenna on the wall or in the ceiling or anything like that. And they're all priced accordingly. The most popular one is probably the second one from the left, the Yagi panel. That's the most powerful, works optimally, and that's, for whatever reason, the one that people tend to go to. So, and that one retails at $4.99, I believe. So this is the install diagram, and this one is more of a professional installation. Anyone that can run cable or install a satellite or anything like that is definitely capable of doing that. We do have a network of certified installers, though, that we can point you to, and the installation is usually between 1 and 2 hours. So outside antenna up on the roof, running coax into the booster, and then from there to the inside antenna, which transmits that boosted signal inside the home or the office and gives you that 4,000 square feet of boosted coverage. So I always like to leave 10 or 15 minutes at the end of my presentation for questions. So I will open it up to questions now for anyone that has any.
Thank you very much, Jason, for that presentation. Enjoyed it very much. And yes, we do have some questions. Let's get started here with the first one. You mentioned that SureCall is an industry leader, which of course we already know that. We're wondering if is your product found in stores like Best Buy or Fry's or any big name retail store?
We do have, not specifically Best Buy or Fry's. Probably our biggest, most well-known place like that would not be brick and mortar. It would actually be Amazon. We're all over Amazon, and we do a really large business with Amazon. As far as brick and mortar places that you could walk into and see it sitting on the shelf, there are a lot of mom and pop shops that prefer SureCall. We haven't really made any big deals with big retailers, partly because, just to be blunt, they have certain margin requirements, whereas SureCall runs pretty lean. We don't price our products real high, and so our MSRPs are low, and we even have a MAP price that protects them from going too low online, but we run a pretty thin margin on some of these, and so the answer is no, you're not going to find us in a Best Buy or Fry's, at least not right now.
Excellent. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that answer, Jason. Next question here for you. Regarding the EZ4G, is that open for an upgrade for a 5G?
Yeah, great question. And this answer actually is going to apply to all 3 of these products, and really any 4G product or earlier iteration. So for those of you that don't know, 5G is kind of a whole different animal. It's our first and only 5G booster right now was 5G for just the Sprint and the T-Mobile 5G, which ran on it's on a really high frequency. So some 5G is going to be like that. Most 5G is going to be what's called millimeter wave, which is such a high frequency that it's even classified differently. Millimeter wave is kind of a whole different animal. It's not like we can just plug in a chip to an existing booster and upgrade it. It's going to have to be a kind of a whole new product, and chances are, I'm not an engineer, but chances are you won't see a booster that boosts 5G, 4G, 3G, etc. all at the same time, unless it's like that Sprint T-Mobile 5G that's out now, that's just a little bit higher frequency than what we already see. The millimeter wave stuff is a whole different animal, though. It's gonna it's going to take a whole different approach. So if you want to kind of dig into that, there's plenty of information out there about 5G and what millimeter wave actually is, and it's going to be a while before they really roll out with all of that, but rest assured we will have a solution. Circling back though, the answer is no. None of these boosters and no 4G only booster out there will be able to just receive an upgrade. You'll have to buy a 5G booster at some point. So.
Excellent. Thank you for that detailed information on that, Jason. Appreciate it. Next question here for you. Regarding the EZ4G, is the 2,000 square foot, does that cover a 360-degree field?
Yeah, great question. So, yes. So basically, if you picture like an open bird's eye view of wherever you're installing the booster, you want to have that inside antenna as centrally located as you can, because it's going to be roughly 2,000 square feet in a radius from that inside antenna, that desktop antenna. So the more centralized you can get that piece, the more coverage you're going to have. A lot of people think of it like, oh, okay, well, you know, I have a 2,000 square foot apartment or room that I want to cover, and this thing is going to propagate signal into every little nook and cranny and corner of that rectangular space. And that's not really true. You have to almost picture it like, here's a rectangle room, and here's my circle, you know, center of that circle being the inside antenna, and can I cover that room or that area with it? So it's not a perfect rectangular coverage. It's in a diameter or a radius out from that center point. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, thank you so much, Jason. Next question here for you. And I believe you've covered this before. Can you touch briefly on outdoor devices that can be deployed for RVs and automobiles? I think we've had other presentations regarding this, and is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Yeah, we do have a lot of mobile booster solutions, and I have done some videos with Microcom in the past. And Julie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you post all of those, and they're all kind of saved, so you can go back through on Microcom's website and see some of those past webinars on mobile solutions. But really quickly, yeah, we have our standard kind of flagship mobile product is the Fusion to Go 3.0 now. We just released a brand new one that's even more powerful called the Fusion to Go Max. And then we also have a couple of variations for kind of those special niches. We have a Fusion to Go RV, which is a complete kit that's the mobile with a bigger antenna for a bigger area of a trailer or an RV. And then we also have the N range, which is a little bit lower price range, kind of single user piece. And then we have our Fusion to Go Trek as well. So you can find presentations that I've given. You can also visit SureCall University, which is our SureCall YouTube channel. And we've got all kinds of user videos, install videos, overview videos about our mobile lineup, and some really cool products. We really pride ourselves on not only our performance, but our price point is really, really competitive on the mobile side. Lots of good stuff.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. And yes, there's lots of information, not only from you guys, but from us too, on previous webinars for all of this. So it's fantastic information. I'm so glad we have it all. Next question here for you. Regarding the Fusion for Home, it only supports 8 per user. Is that correct? Or do you have something for a commercial space or a large number of people that can connect simultaneously?
Yeah, great question. Absolutely. So the Fusion for Home is is named as such because it was primarily designed for a house or a home. 8 simultaneous users, what we're talking about there is 8 people actually on the phone at the same time, which, Julie and I were talking about this before we got on the webinar. I have a pretty big family, and it is rare that all of us are talking on the phone at the same time. It's common that my kids are, maybe using data a lot at the same time, but that's usually on my Wi-Fi. And so on my booster at home for my 4G calls, or even 3G calls, it's kind of rare. But to answer the question, yes, we absolutely do have bigger boosters for more simultaneous users or even a larger area. Our Fusion 5S would be the next step up, and our Fusion 5X would be even above and beyond that. So if you have a need for more multiple users, more simultaneous users, or a larger square footage, I've done presentations and touched on those in the past as well. Or you can visit SureCall.com and get more info, or feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call, and I can send you more info, data sheets, whatever you need on some of those higher capacity products.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. Next question here for you. Can you touch base or let us know anything about how one could possibly get certified as a SureCall installer?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. It's a pretty straightforward process. There are some ins and outs that you need to be aware of if you've never installed a cell phone booster before, and especially if you want to get into the business of, installing a SureCall booster. There are a few things you got to keep in mind. It's not rocket science though. So we do have a certified installer training. We do those twice a week. You can find links to those webinar trainings on our website, or there again, I'm happy to send you links if anyone wants to reach out to me. The webinar is just kind of a deeper dive into how the booster works and kind of the best practices as far as setting this up and installing it, a couple of tools that we recommend to make it go smoothly, to measure incoming signal and set the booster correctly and monitor it down the road. It's about a 45-minute to 1-hour webinar. And then once you do that, there's a quick 10 or 15 question quiz at the end, and most people pass with flying colors, and you get a certification letter from us. And then you can actually feel confident in installing this. We take down your information, and if there's a need for someone looking for an installer in their area, you'll be one of them. So it's a really kind of a slick program that we have in place. I'd be happy to plug anyone into that pipeline and get you pointed in the right direction if that's something you're interested in.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. I'm glad we asked that question because I know there are probably several listeners interested in that. Thank you again. Next question, 1 or 2 more here. Your SureCall items online, are they priced at MSRP?
Yeah, so not all of them are priced at MSRP. Sometimes our MSRP will be just a little bit higher than our minimum advertised price. We try to allow vendors and dealers and distributors to kind of price it how they want, run a promo or a discount if they want, without going so low that it just devalues the product. We're very happy to offer a great price out of the gate, and so it's very rare that you'll see anything below a certain minimum. But there are products out there. Some of our older products and stuff, we have an MSRP and we have no map. We just let people sell those out for whatever they can get or whatever they want to set it at. But that's usually only with products that are kind of being discontinued or outdated. So you can find deals out there, but we try really hard to regulate the price. So if you see a a really, really low price, chances are it's coming from a shady source. I'd be careful with that. So yeah, just watch out for the really low stuff.
Thank you for that, Jason. I appreciate it. Regarding your support team and hours of operation, on the screen that you have up right now with your phone number, your name, and your email address, is that the best way to reach out to SureCall for any technical support if we need to call SureCall?
Yeah, absolutely. The 888 number at the very top is the best way to get SureCall, and they can direct you to tech support or, sales support or anything like that. Anything sales related or just product question type stuff. If it's anything other than technical support, definitely reach out to me. Email is probably the best. I travel a bit. That number listed there, though, is my cell phone number, and I'm available on it quite a bit. If I'm on a call or in a meeting, I will usually call you right back. But emails sometimes are a little bit easier to kind of scroll through and respond to. So definitely reach out to me with any sales-related questions or support-related questions. If it gets too technical for me, I'll just refer you over to tech support.
Excellent, Jason. Thank you so much for answering all those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone for attending our webinar today. If there are further questions, of course, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if anyone wishes to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit our website at www.microcom.us. And also please remember that our webinar presentation has been recorded and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel. So there's lots of information out there for Microcom and for SureCall. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time and all your information today. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks again, Julie.
You're welcome. Thank you.